Good afternoon, and thank you for joining me for another office hours training. I am Crystal L. Gunn, your financial strategist, life insurance agent, and small business advisor. And part of my job as that strategist, being on the business side or the personal side, is to help you create a solid financial relationship or a strong business base, right? I help you to heal and redefine your personal financial relationship, which also impacts your business financial relationship. I help you to have some aha moments, some self-discovery moments, and help you see what no longer serves you so that you can release all of that and soar. Because it's where the breakthroughs happen. It's where you start to shift. It's where the magic happens, be it on your personal side or on the business side. 2 more days left in October, which is Financial Planning Awareness Month. So 2 more days. So in these last 2 days, 2 more things as it relates to financial planning. Today is all about retirement planning, starting early. I cannot stress it enough. But if you didn't start before today, you have to start today, right? So retirement for some may seem far away, but starting early is one of the best financial decisions you can make. Starting early offers you the advantage of time. And with that advantage, it maximizes savings through compound growth, right? So let's just look at a few key points. Starting early. So start contributing early. Even small contributions add up over time due to compounding interest, right? And if you can find accounts that compound interest daily, that would be fantastic. If you could find accounts that have great interest rates and compound daily or monthly, again, fantastic. But starting early is what's really key. Now, does that mean if you didn't start early that you don't start ever? No, you still need to start. But starting early, that's that piece that makes it easier. You look up and you're 40 or 50 and you're not in a panic. So starting early, again, with even the smallest contributions, right? And when I say early, I'm not even talking, I'm talking about before that first real job that you have, starting early. So if you are watching this and you have children, start them early. I remember when my daughter was like 4, and we did this little project where we had 3 jars, and she decorated all 3. We used 3 mason jars, and she decorated all 3 of them. One was her give jar, one was her spend jar, and one was her freedom jar. Now it was savings. So anytime she got money, allowance, she saw her uncles, birthday money, I would break it down into the smallest denominations, and then I would let her count it out, right? So I taught her how to count money too. But she put 10% in her give jar. She put 20% in her spend jar, and she put 70% in her freedom jar, which really was saving. So it got her in the mindset very early on that whenever she got money, she knew she had to save money, right? And it's so funny because she's 23 now, and where she doesn't use the jars, she now has bank accounts for that. She has bank accounts for that, but those jars are still in her room. Like she lives in a whole nother state, but those jars, she still have those jars. And it's funny because there's still money in those jars. But it started from a very young age, training her, conditioning her that every time you get money, you got to pay yourself first, right? And that spin jar, we made it a point to the weekends or whatever, that she was able to spend that money, because we're not just supposed to save, we're also supposed to be able to spend that money too. But starting early helps. And again, if you have young children, whatever age they are at this point, you want to make sure you get them starting early. Number two is maximize employer match. If you're working for someone and you currently have a 401k or any type of 401k program and the employer matches, are you maximizing on that? Like, really, are you maximizing? Now, if you're not, look at ways to do that, or right, figure out some other. I don't think you should put all of those eggs in that basket. I'm personally not a fan of 401k accounts because of the restrictions. Um, because of the restrictions, the tax implications, all of that, I'm just not a fan. Plus, most people who work and then they have that 401k, they have no idea what to do with that 401k. So you look and you see the statement and you're like, oh, well, I made some money. It's higher than it was last month. But when you break it down, you realize a lot of times that it's only higher because you put more money in it. It wasn't, you didn't gain anything, right? Because the fees took away what your gain was, and it only increased. It would not have increased any had you not put more money in it, right? And again, just the restrictions, I'm not a fan, but some people are and can work it. And again, when you talk about retirement savings and planning, it is what really works for you. But I'm huge on diversifying where you have that money. Choose a retirement account if that's what you want. IRA, Roth IRA. There's no cookie cutter. It's going to be based off of your financial goals. Again, I'm not a true fan of anything that doesn't allow me to get my money today without a penalty, because there's so many other ways that you can do things to save, like using life insurance for that, right? Cash value accounts that you can then pull from for retirement. And then I think the biggest piece of this, whichever way you choose, whichever one you choose to do, is that you automate your contributions. So setting up those automatic transfers to ensure consistent savings, that is the key. And you will, if it's not on automation, you're not going to get the money and then transfer. Very few people, I'm not going to say everybody won't, but very few people are diligent enough to be able to receive the money, and then you receive your payroll and then divvy it up to do to do a thing, you know what I mean? And then send, okay, I need to send money over here, because also life happens, things are happening, you don't do it. But if it's on automatic transfer, it's going to happen consistently without fail. Okay. So again, just some key points to cover on this, but about the starting early and why it's such a benefit to do so, and why it's such a benefit to also teach your children to do so at as young of age as possible. So do me a favor, think about your current age. And when would you like to retire, and how much you already have set aside for retirement? So the recommended amount saved for retirement is 10 times your current salary. So based on your current age, your current savings, and your years to retirement that you want to retire, are you on track based off that 10-year salary recommendation? And if you're not on track, what are you going to do about it? And when are you going to start? Right? So by starting now, you give your retirement fund the chance to grow over decades. Hopefully, for some, it won't be that, and we need to come up with some other type of strategy. But creating more security is done by starting early. Time is your greatest asset in retirement planning. I cannot stress that enough. And so, when we look at that 2053 prediction of Blacks having zero wealth, and I talk about getting your financial house in order, this is part of getting your financial house in order, but it's also part of the thing that will keep that prediction from becoming a reality. Part of the reason that it's going to happen is because we don't have the money set aside for things like retirement and to pass down. So we talk about those generational curses, and if the curse is going to stop with you, then the new systems of success must start with you. You got to get the tools, you got to put them in place in order to be able to learn the new systems and then to pass those new systems down to the next generations. So again, that this prediction doesn't happen, but also so that we're able to pass down generational wealth and impact these generations, at least 10 generations to come. Right? So you can imagine next is do the math. Like, how much money do you have saved for retirement right now? How much do you need? And then how many, right? And where's that difference? So this is how much you need, 10 times your current salary. This is how much you have. What's the difference? So now how much do you need and how many years do you have to get there? And then let's create a strategy in order to allow that to happen, right? And schedule your appointment. The links are below. If you need help, like literally, let's do strategy, right? We can do a checkup, but if you just have no idea, then that strategy one is for you. But let's talk about it. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Let's get it done, because the clock is ticking, right? It's ticking. And I know we don't like to look forward. We want to, and in a lot of instances, people can't because they're so focused on what's in front of them, the fire, the struggle, the whatever is going on, that they're not even thinking about that. So part of my job is to shed light over here, like, okay, but you need to think about this too. And let's think about it and let's create the strategy that works for you. Again, so that you get to continue to live the life that you desire and deserve, and not the one that you get after paying bills and having the small amount of money for retirement. So you really can't enjoy that time of your life the way that you would want to. So remember, always give yourself some grace, right? What happened in the past stays in the past. It's done. It's over. What you didn't know, what you didn't do, forgive yourself about it, forgive yourself for it, but we got to move forward and look at, well, what do I need to do now? So give yourself some grace. However, you give yourself grace for what you didn't know. Once you know it and then you still don't follow through and do it, you can't give yourself grace again for that. So give yourself some grace, keep striving for your next level. Never, ever, ever give up on you, and always invest in you. I promise you, it is the best investment that you will ever make, and you absolutely will not regret it. If this information has been helpful to you, please subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on so that you don't miss it. And it's great to watch the videos, but you actually have to do the work. That's where the important part comes in. Look at the descriptions below. There's so many, there's so many resources in that description below for you to use, but also share this information with somebody else. If we are collectively working towards stopping that 2053 prediction, that means you got to share this information with somebody else. Don't be a gatekeeper to the information. And go back and look at past episodes. See the ones that speaks to your soul and your financial needs. Watch those and then just do the work. If you do the work, you will start to see the difference. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Crystal L. Gunn, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. Be sure to join me for the private online Q&A immediately following. The link is in the description. And if you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn notifications on so you never miss this opportunity. Thank you again, and I will see you on the other side.